Thanks for coming. Welcome to my first house healing cafe. Looks like we just lost Carol. Hopefully she can log back in. Um, and yeah, so I've got a few photos from some of you, and we'll start with that. And then I've got a little some slides to show about, just to kind of give more information about what Feng Shui is. I'll talk a little bit about ways to work with me if you wish. And we'll also, since it's a small group, have more time for other questions. And let's get started. So this is Thomas's, but we're gonna wait for him because he isn't here yet. So we're gonna go to you, Nate.
Okay.
So let me review, actually. The purpose of the House Healing Cafe is to have a chance to answer your questions about Feng Shui and whether you brought photos or not. Thank you so much to both of you for sending photos. So this is yours, Nate. You want to share what your question is again?
So this is my patio door. It's a sliding door, and it's open as far as it goes. And the tree is not. This is a cat tree. This green part, and it's not in front of where you actually walk in, but it's in front of the window. And I'm just wondering if it's okay there, if it should be moved, like for feng shui purposes.
Now, is the other half of the sliding door is it a kind of a normal sliding glass door where it's wide
Yeah,
that you can't see it in the picture? Um,
right.
yeah, I think this is fine. I might move it a little bit over a tiny bit if it can go, just to get it out of that. It's just a little bit in the opening.
Mm-hmm.
And just for everyone else, I think the reason this question came up is because he's heard me talk a lot about front doors and how we don't want to block the door. That's the mouth of Qi. That's the path where Qi comes into the house. So I think it's fine to have it here in this window part, since that's more of a window than a door. But if you can, just squeeze it over a little bit so it's not in the path.
I think it's at an angle so that it's actually the picture's at an angle. It actually
Oh,
does.
so okay.
Yeah, I didn't get it straight on. So really, if you come directly in through the door, it doesn't block it. But if you want to go to the side, it does. And on the other side of the door is a bookcase. It also comes directly out from the door and doesn't block it, but it's there.
Say that again about the bookcase.
The bookcase is on the other side of the door.
Oh, okay.
It's right up against next to the opening of the door, just like the tree is, cat tree.
Yeah, that sounds fine. It's not in the path. The main thing with doors is that it's not, yeah, blocking the path in or inhibiting the door from opening.
And how far in from the door should be open? Like as you walk in, how much room should there be?
That is a good question. I think ideally it's like to your height.
Oh,
So
okay.
5 or 6 feet in. And so it's like there's this path. Think of a path. The chi comes through the front door,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a path through the house.
Mm-hmm.
If at any point you kind of feel like you're kind of bumping into something, or you have to kind of like squeeze around
Mm-hmm.
uh, to get around something, um, you don't want to feel like you're walking into something. Um, Smaller spaces, of course, that can be difficult. Um, but ideally, the entrance is you walk in and it feels open and spacious and bright and like a feeling of welcome. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, there's lots of ways that you can do that. But if you feel like you walk right into something, then it's, yeah, it can be a block in the path of chi. When we have obstacles in our path,
Hmm.
the house, then it can show up as like obstacles in life.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Thank you. Go ahead. Did you have a question, Andrea? Andrea?
oh no, I just what you said, it just made me this house is a total disaster. Because the stairs come in, I'm sitting on the couch. So as you come in, you walk up the stairs and there's not a big open space you can traverse. There is you have to sort of like turn around the armchair. And it's because I'm looking at the entrance right now. And in the corner of the couch is facing the entrance. I mean, we work on this room, so for Nate doesn't know, but I had a session with Megan, which I recommend, by the way, to anybody. And so we went through the house, but there are some things that I don't think I could change, fortunately. So unless I change house.
Yeah, well, sometimes, yeah, you definitely have a challenging entrance. We're gonna look at your bedroom in a second. Um, it's like sometimes we have to work with the space that we have
Mhm.
and do whatever you can do to improve helps.
Right.
Even if it can't be the ideal, because oftentimes we can't get to the ideal. So it looks like, sorry to interrupt. So Thomas, I'll try to see if I can send him the link. For some reason, it's not, will send.
And you have to scroll down. That's what I found out. Because right when it looks like you can
Roll.
click on something, but you have to scroll down.
Yeah, for some reason Eventbrite wouldn't let me enable that button, so I put the link in the actual thing.
Hmm.
Of course, now will I be able to find that link for him? Let me see.
Maybe.
Um, Thank you for your patience. And oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Ah, are you guys there? Okay.
Yeah.
We're still
It
here.
did
I
something
found
weird.
the link. Did you find the link?
No, I didn't.
I've got it here. I put it in the chat for you, and then
Oh, I just found it.
oh, you did. Okay.
Thomas.
Go.
Oh, he showed up.
Yeah.
Thomas, you got the link. We see you. We were just trying to send you the link.
Morning.
Good
Morning.
morning.
How are you guys? Sorry about that. Oh my God.
No, no worries. It's
Did
not
it.
your fault.
Did it.
You got it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. We were just looking at Nate's photos, and now we'll go to yours because you sent stuff to me first. Um, Thank you for sending photos. Can you all see them?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, Thomas, you said not sure what to ask besides please help.
Yeah, so when I enter my apartment from the the you see where the chin up bar is?
Mm-hmm.
That's the kitchen. Oh yeah, I'm actually taking a picture from the kitchen in the mirror. And so because I use like the back door to enter, it's a garden style apartment and it's just easier to get in the outside steps. Plus I don't have to see my neighbors otherwise, like the downstairs neighbors, I don't have to disrupt them at the with the indoor steps. Anyway, so then when I come in, I just like kind of lean that mirror up against the wall. Um and I like the fact that I can like just check myself before I leave and or when I come in terms of like my attire, but yeah.
So is there something about this space that feels uncomfortable, or is it?
Yeah, I just sometimes I just don't so when I'm studying, I have a hard time. I don't feel like I want to come in and sit in here. But I don't, so what I end up doing is then I eat, I'm like standing up at my kitchen counter because I don't usually use I'm trying to, I guess, like relax more. Um, and this space is, I end up just like kind of when I come home, I like put stuff on the table. And I don't know. Yeah. So, I guess I'm kind of processing this as I'm talking about it.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. No, that's great. That helps a lot. And these are great photos, and this is a great I can understand. Okay, I have some recommendations. I can understand why you might be feeling that way. It is a beautiful space. Um, and okay, something about mirrors. So that mirror is so big that sometimes mirrors, we use them a lot in Feng Shui for all kinds of reasons, but if a mirror can be too awake, can if you can see how it's reflecting like the kitchen, right? So it doesn't have mirrors, multiply what it sees. So you want to use a mirror. If you're going to use a mirror, you want it to have a nice view, especially a view like that. And so um, I could see that it might feel uncomfortable to be sitting there with such a huge mirror that's now kind of multiplying that kitchen, which is sort of an awkward view. The other thing, so probably if you like that mirror, I would probably find a different place for it where it has some sort of space around it, or it's gonna bring in a nice view or kind of multiply something that is sort of positive or pleasing. Um, you might just try moving it and seeing, does it feel better in the space? But the other thing I would say is, so in Feng Shui, we pay attention to the five elements, and they express themselves in different ways in the space. And your room has a lot of sort of the water element and the metal element. And so literally the metal chairs, there's a lot of metal furniture in there, but also white and grays and blacks. That's all represents the metal element. And that then the reflective surfaces like the mirror and the glass table and the other glass, that's water, represents water. Um, the lamp, the triangular shape of the lamp and the sort of spiky shapes of the plants are more fire shapes, but they don't have, I think because the lamp is probably metal, they don't have that warmth. I guess I would recommend bringing in something that brings in a little more softness and warmth and maybe earth and fire. So that could be anything like giving that plant a friend, maybe in a terracotta pot, which is earth, maybe something like a jade because it has softer, because spiky plants like that, it's not very friendly or relaxed. Something like a jade or some kind of plant that has rounded, soft leaves can kind of balance that. Maybe on your table, maybe an earth, like a ceramic vase with some flowers, or a ceramic pot with a nice little plant, something to kind of make the table itself feel a little more cozy and welcoming. Because glass, although it's clean and like, you know, nice and clean, it doesn't really have that welcoming feeling that's going to kind of draw you to want to sit there. So
Mm.
you might want to play with what could you do on the table itself. Maybe like I kind of like that you've got this placemat there, you know,
Yeah.
but maybe find something that a color or something that you like, and then maybe put a candle or a plant on it, or a vase of flowers, or maybe try what would it feel like with a tablecloth. Um, you know, the floor, the wood floor, and that wood block over there is nice and soft and warming, but a little bit more of that, whether it's um, color, maybe a little bit red, or just things that are kind of soft. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. Would that apply if I put like those are like kind of temporary uh shades that I haven't made any effort to try to get like a soft curtain, or like like a Roman shade or something. Would that help as well, you think?
Yeah, some kind of like a curtain. I mean, you might still want a shade,
Yeah.
um, for sure, especially if you want privacy. But curtains, definitely, that could bring in that warmth and softness and kind of give it a little more cozy, private feeling.
Hmm.
Especially because it's the walls are white, the the shades are white, and with that's again that metal, um, so something, yeah, a little soft, and not that you have to go if you like the sort of that look
Yeah.
of white and sort of clean, simple. That's fine. Then you would just try to find little things that would soften it. So if you want it to stay white, then kind of see if it can be the curtains, because then that would bring in that softness, or something just on the table to kind of calm it down a little bit.
Thank you. That makes perfect sense. I follow. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for sending those photos. I can't wait to see what you do.
Okay.
And we already did talked about Nate's store, and now we're up to you, Andrea. Your bed, your bedroom. Here's the other photos that you sent. But the main thing I wanted to, um, so Andrea's question wasn't a question, but check in to see if anything can be improved. So my concern about your bed, it's kind of like what we were just talking about earlier with that slant, is you have a slant above your bed, and when you are under a slanted ceiling, slanted ceilings can create a feeling of pressure, and affect health and sleep, and kind of show up as a feeling of pressure in life. And does that, um, you want to say anything about how you sleep, or?
Oh, I sleep well.
Oh, good.
I sleep well. Well, you know, you probably noticed in the corner, I have a CPAP machine, in the sense that I have sleep apnea, but I sleep, that's a congenital thing. So I sleep, but I sleep well. Yeah, I sleep soundly and I sleep well. Thanks God. The thing is, like, there is no room, if you can see it, you know, so the other from the pictures, there is no room, you know what I'm saying, I don't think there is room to move the bed.
Yes, this
You
is
know?
the situation where I would recommend a cure to protect you from the ceiling. Because
Yeah.
yes, there's no, looking at the rest of the room, there is no other place for the bed.
Right.
And so, yeah, the slanted ceiling, glad that you're sleeping well. It can affect health and just sort of that stress. So couple ideas for cures would do something to energetically lift the ceiling up. You could use some wind chimes.
Wind
And,
chime, and where you place them?
I would use a metal wind chime, metal open tube chime, something that you like how it sounds. You could put either one above your bed, or if you didn't want it above your bed, you could put one on each side of the bed, like in the corner. See where this wall is?
Yeah.
So it either one here and one here. You want to keep them just not over the bed, or you could put one here. What you're visualizing, what's important with the cure is your intention in visualizing that it's lifting up the ceiling. It's like you're raising it up and protecting you from that
And
pressure.
Megan, what about putting it in on the central beam? So on the, I don't know what the English word for, you know, where the two slanted meet, the two slant of the roof meet in the center.
The peak.
Yeah, the peak, you know.
Um, I think I'd have to work with the space a little much longer to see if that could work. I think having something over here around your bed would be better. If you don't want to do a wind chime, another cure would be to use a lamp.
No, wind chime is, I like wind chime. You know, I got them all over the house. So.
Okay.
I have the entrance, I put chimes everywhere.
Okay.
What about gold chimes, metal gold? You know, the chimes usually are tubular, right? And I have these golden bells on my front door. I'm just playing with things. So there has to be a chime, or can be, I mean, they're ring, or can be a bell.
For this cure, if I was gonna use a wind chime, I would use an actual wind chime.
Yeah, wind
That
chime.
could be used, it has a nice sound. It has open tubes. Usually it's five tubes. I wouldn't use a bell or some other chime. If you wanted to do a different cure though, you can use lights that face up is another way. It's like you're trying to lift that ceiling up and protect. Not
Yeah.
that you couldn't use bells or other chimes for other places.
And how many should I put in?
I would probably put one on each side of the
Okay.
bed and ask them to raise the whole ceiling.
Okay. And you suggest in that corner over there, you know, that, yeah, where your cursor is. Okay.
Here or here, yeah. Here and here, each side.
On the two sides of the
Mhm.
bed, on the two sides of the bed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Done.
Great. Thanks for sharing.
Okay. Sides.
All right. Oh, how interesting. It changed colors. So since we don't have other, we can definitely do more questions. I don't have any other photos. And I don't know what happened to Carol. She was on and then I guess got kicked off. So I thought I'd just share a little bit more about what Feng Shui is. Our home is a mirror. That's sort of a core concept in Feng Shui. And Feng Shui is the practice of working with that mirror to bring forth the vision that you hold for your life. So there's a lot of different ways that the space holds patterns, and Feng Shui is a way of like reading what that mirror is and then working intentionally. So so like some of the examples that we talked about, it's like it's already saying something, but then we can work intentionally with it so that it mirrors what it is that we want in life, or that whatever it is our goal is. Oh wow, it changed colors too. I'm looking at my slides and they're different. So a couple ways that shows up is the house itself. So before you even move in, before you even put your stuff in, the house itself, it's about the design, holds a pattern that influences our life. So like, for example, those slanted ceilings, right? That's showing something. So we look at things like the shape of the house, how the walls, the windows, and the doors relate to each other, the location of some of the core elements of the house, the front door, the bathrooms, fireplaces, stove, and stairs. Some examples. Another Feng Shui is often called the art of placement, and it's concerned with the placement of pretty much everything. So the furniture, but also the placement of the doors, the stairs, the walls, the windows, and everything has a significance. Then there is, I'm gonna stop sharing that way because my slides are doing something strange. Oh, how strange. Okay, sorry. Are you, sorry, I guess I'm having a lot of technical difficulties today.
Kind of like me.
We're all having
There we
technical difficulties. I have absolutely no idea. I looked at these slides earlier and it was not the screen colors. I don't know what happened. But anyway, we'll go with it. And I don't know what that line is. But okay, so two. So right, there's the structure, there's the space itself before you've even moved in that holds a pattern that has that mirror effect. But then we move into the space and the stuff that you bring in, that also has a big influence. So Feng Shui is concerned about what it is, where it's placed, and how it's cared for. An example of this is so a client that I worked with recently, one of her main things were health and wanting to be in a relationship. She was single, and sort of that was her next phase in life, is wanting to be in a partnership. And so it was really interesting to be in her space because it looked like the space of a single person, a hermit. It was like everything about one, there was no place for two people to sit. So I came in and we were gonna sit down to talk first about what she wanted help with. But the two chairs in the living room, one was over here on one side of the room and the other one was all the way on the other side of the room. So there was no place for people to be together, to that partnership energy. And then another thing was that she had these two very old and beautiful, big, kind of domineering portraits of her grandparents that were very, meaningful to her, but they were on different sides of the room. So if you just saw one, it just looks like, okay, here's this picture of one solitary person. So there was a lot of single images. So one of the things I recommended that she do to kind of shift that single pattern to more partnership was to put the two pictures next to each other so that they were together, and to either put those two chairs next to each other or find some other seating arrangement. And that was specifically because that was her goal, her vision. What she wanted was partnership, but her house said single. Another person I worked with, this man, is in his 70s, was a little depressed, lonely, wanted to be in a partnership, was having difficulty in that area. And he also loved art. And so he had lots of art on his walls, really beautiful art. But it was all like sad and lonely people. Most of them were men, and a lot of them were kind of gloomy pictures or back turned, or there was a few of women, but they were sort of like, like that kind of thing, like going off alone into the, the sunset. So it had this overall sort of gloomy, depressing, single, kind of bring the energy down. So one of my recommendations just for that was to shift that a little bit to bring in more partnership energy. So another way that our house is a mirror is we use this map called the Feng Shui Bagua. And so here's the map on the left, and you can see the front door. Their front door will always be in one of these three places. We call the front door the mouth of Qi. And that means that's where the energy enters the house. The Qi is life force energy, and Feng Shui is all about balancing the flow of this energy, this life force energy, and we want to welcome it into the front door. And so we put the Bagua map that shows, we put it on the house, and then it can show us where the different aspects of our life live in our house. So you have a wealth area, a marriage area, a career area, family, health, knowledge, helpful people. And each of these life areas has a place where it lives in the house, and also has many, many, many associations. This image on the right is just to show a little bit more of that energy of those life areas. But so we put this on the house based on the location of the front door. And so this is another way that our home is a mirror. So we can learn a lot about the house and the life of the person by looking at the Bagua, and then when I make a lot of recommendations based on the Bagua. So if, for example, that person who wanted to be in a relationship, we looked at the relationship area to see, well, what was going on in there? What could we do to enhance the space? So this is to show, let's see. So here's a floor plan. Here's the Bagua map. Here's a floor plan. And so this is the house. I'm going to show you how we put this onto the floor plan. I think I am. There we go. So I drew the Bagua map onto this floor plan, and it shows us that this over here is what we call the wealth and prosperity area. It means it's actually missing. So this person, this house is missing the wealth and prosperity area, missing a little bit of the family area, and missing a little bit of the career area. When a house is missing a life area, that's because of the shape, right? So this is not a complete shape. It's a little bit of a cut, awkward shape. So sometimes what can happen is then you can be missing a life area, which means the house doesn't have the Qi to support that area. So we do remedies to correct that. In this case, you see how the garage, and this is also to show that the garage counts. The garage, if it's in it's connected to the house, it's part of the house. This is a bonus. This person has a bonus marriage area and a bonus fame area, which means it's enhanced. It has like extra support in that life area. And then also this dining room is a bonus in the helpful people in travel area. This house has the stairs in the health area, which is not always the best location for stairs. Show you another one. This is a client who gave these to let me use these with permission. This is her floor plan. And this is the carport. This is outside of the house. This is the front door and the front porch. So we laid the bagua based off of the location of the front door, but that meant that she is missing a little bit of the knowledge and self-cultivation area and a little bit, and all of the wealth area. So this is the wealth and prosperity area. So she's missing that life area.
Man.
Go back to this one. That is just to show you the full map again. And so ideal shape of a house is some kind of a complete shape, like a square, a rectangle. And then but then if you have, so if somebody has a house like that, it's a little bit easier to figure out how to place the bagua when it's, you know, an awkward shape or unusual shaped house. Then it's a little bit, it takes a little bit of work to figure out, okay, how do we place it on there? This is another one. This house is missing a little bit of the career and self-knowledge. See, this is the front door, and this is an enhancement, and it has to do with the amount. So if it's less than half of the wall, then it's an enhancement. If it's, I always get confused on how to word that. So this is only a small, this is less than half. This is greater than half. So this becomes an enhancement and this becomes a missing. And so when I do house healing sessions with people, we are working on the Feng Shui Bagua map, placing it on the place. Working with me in any Feng Shui sessions, we're focusing on removing the energy drains and the obstacles to health and prosperity, or whatever it is. You know, if somebody wants to improve their relationships, whatever the life area is that they need help with, and then we enhance the space to encourage those things. So good health and prosperity. And the way that we do that is by applying various Feng Shui cures and remedies, like an example of that wind chime. That's one example of a Feng Shui remedy. So we use Feng Shui remedies and cures can be anything. Actually, there's really endless amounts of options for cures. So mirrors, color, plants, wind chimes, art, moving the furniture, decluttering, statues, crystals, rocks, energy cleansing, blessings and rituals, water features, and many others. So oftentimes the best cure is something that somebody already has or something that's more personal, but it can really be, you know, anything. And this is just a quote from one of my clients, which I like because it kind of describes the essence of Feng Shui. A lot of people get a little bit worried that it's going to be, that it's a lot of rigid rules, but it's really about making the space feel more comfortable and making it feel better and not necessarily about following rigid rules. And that it doesn't just affect one area. It's sort of implementing feng shui can kind of improve a lot of different areas all at once, because everything is connected, and it's a little bit like you know, we make these subtle changes that then they move the energy out into many areas of life. And another slide that got messed up, formatted, but so the way I work with people, I call them house healing sessions, and you can do that in person or remotely. The way to work remotely is with the floor plan and photos, very much like what we did today. I have people send that to me in advance, and then we do it on Zoom. And then in person, I go to the person's house, and they don't have to send a floor plan or photos, but they're welcome to, because I love to get a preview before I actually go to the space. But another offering I have is I'm doing a feng shui for your bedroom workshop. If you want to just focus more on bedroom cures, that's a workshop I'm doing next week. Create a bedroom that helps you heal and sleep well. And so, yeah, I'll just say a few more words about the bagua. And then we can open it up for more questions. So, yeah, why don't we just open it up for more questions if you have any questions about the bagua, or that sparked questions about your house.
So, okay, the house that was missing, like the wealth, or what? If your house is a weird thing and it's totally missing like one whole section, what were some of your recommendations for like that place? Like, if they were missing like the whole, yeah, if like I think, yeah, that one was like where wealth was like totally cut out.
Good question. So, basically what we want to do, so feng shui, we're not trying to remodel the house to correct things. But it's really about, okay, I showed you that list of remedies. So we want to do something with intention to kind of convince the house that it's complete, that it's no longer missing. And so, and it sort of depends on the space, but we use this person as an example, this was her carport. So this is where the car drove into the garage. So we had to be creative. She hung prayer flags here. I think she also hung lights. She did, I think she added a water fountain out here. There was a little stair sort of platform here. So to visually complete the shape, but with intention, let the house know and visualize that it's like you're transcendentally pulling out the walls to complete the space. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so here, so that's that the house, it's like, it was almost like an empty dead space. And so then we added things to make it be alive, to bring in life force energy. And so there's sort of like, when I work with somebody, I might give them sort of a list of ideas, but then we're trying to find, okay, well, what is the cure that's going to light them up? And, the best here is the one that person's going to want to do. So she really liked the idea of prayer flags. And they have that movement. They relate to wind, they have color, they have prayers, and wealth and prosperity area. The Bagua relates to the wind, relates to wind. So that's a really good cure. Lights are an excellent cure for things. Some people would absolutely not want to use prayer flags, right? So that wouldn't be a good cure for them. So, and then in the knowledge area, this was her front porch. So it's already like partway there in the sense that it has the potential to feel like a room. And so that's what she did, was she had a bench, she had plants, she had a nice welcome mat, she also had a wind chime. And so all of those were put there intentionally to complete the knowledge and self-knowledge and cultivation area. So, and she also used the colors. So in that map, let's see. Nope. You can see there's many different associations to each of these life areas. One of them is color. You don't have to use the color, especially if you don't like the color, but it's one way to kind of bring in that intention. So she did use teal. And so knowledge and self-cultivation, that life area is about that learning, but particular personal growth and inner cultivation, like going to go to the mountain to learn about ourselves and to have that depth of knowledge and wisdom. But also it's about learning. So if somebody's in school or they're have some kind of study that they're working on, and yeah, any other questions?
Well, I have, excuse me, no, I just had a crazy idea that just popped in my mind right now. Because I always think marketing, we're in this marketing community, and it's so hard to market all the fruitful stuff that we do. So I have a question. The question, is a crazy question, but when the houses, especially the market now, is slow, and they don't move, they don't sell, could you just make it more marketable?
Definitely. Those of you who don't know, we're in a wonderful
I'm sorry.
group called the Marketing for Hippies with Tad Hargrave. It's a really, really awesome community for healers and coaches with heart-based businesses. Yeah, Feng Shui can definitely help a house that isn't selling. Whether it's applying the bagua, whether it's kind of doing space clearing to clear the unseen energy. I've helped people. I've had some good success helping people sell their houses, especially one, I helped somebody sell their lot. They had an empty lot that had been on the market for years with little to no interest. And like a couple times it was almost in contract, it fell through. So what we did was, it was empty. So we did a blessing ceremony for it specifically. There's like a house selling here. And then we added some things to the property to boost the chi, and then it sold very quickly after that. So Feng Shui can definitely do that. I don't work a lot with real estate agents. I think right now there's at least where I live, there's such a need for houses that there's more.
More often. Yeah, no, there's not enough offer, so yeah.
Yeah. It's, people are kind of buying just about anything. So, but yeah, it can definitely be used with that intention.
Yeah, because I have friends that very nice property, and because the interest rates are up. We have the kind of same problem here with inventory, but in a sense there is not enough inventory, but the interest rates is not like crazy like California. So I think there would be an opening for something like you, for you, because I'm thinking of you, of course, and it's just
Yeah, your friend
not
is
going.
yeah, if your friend is interested, I'd be happy to work with them long distance. And with if it's something like real estate, we're not focusing on balancing the house like we would if somebody was like, I'm gonna live there and we want to get it balanced to live and thrive, but apply just enough to help, move the process along. And there's, specific things that help encourage that, and particularly looking at the front door and the helpful people area of the Bagua.
Mm.
Yeah, actually, my friends just put in. I just found out today they put in a market, but I wish I knew before because it's been on the market for a year and a half.
Oh boy, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's a beautiful property, and price was right. So they couldn't figure it out what was the problem. So, but it's under contract. So,
Oh, good.
so if it doesn't happen, I'll put you in touch. They're very good friends. So,
Awesome. Well, I hope it goes through without a hitch. Any other questions, comments, any takeaways?
I can't wait to go to work on my dining alcove. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome, Thomas. I'm so glad you came. Thanks for sending photos.
I like what you said, Megan, about as you're walking in or the flow and you feel like you're bumping into something or it's tight. That helps a lot. Because I definitely have parts in my house like that. A lot of parts.
What was the remedy for that? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Well, we were talking about the entrance and not blocking the flow of chi into the house, and that's really important to have like spaciousness when you walk in, and that if there are obstacles in the path, then that can show up as obstacles in our life. And that spaciousness, it's like having that front door is the most important feature of a house, and like what you experience when you first walk in. So anything you can do to create a feeling of welcoming and spaciousness really helps. But we were specifically talking about, how much space you need. So you don't want to like be walking into something and sort of like, bumping into something.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good. Glad that was helpful. Oh yeah, I was gonna put if you want to come to the bedroom workshop, or if you know anybody who would like to, might need some help, please put feel free to share the link. I'll put it in the chat. I forgot to do that earlier. Be focusing on bedroom cures. All right, well, thank you for coming live and asking good questions. It's fun to share with you. My first house healing cafe, and thought it would be fun. I thought it was fun, off to a good start. I'm going to offer this probably on a monthly basis. So yeah, if you have any ideas or feedback, being my first guinea pigs here, feel free to let me know. Things I can do to improve, and hopefully the technology will improve.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Megan. That was great.
You're so welcome.
Nice to meet you guys. Take care.
Thank you all. Good to see you.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Have a great day.